Good afternoon. Thanks for being with us here today for Biodiesel Magazine's 2017 Editorial Outlook webinar, sponsored by the National Advanced Biofuels Conference and Expo, June 19th through 21st in Minneapolis. My name is Ron Kotrba. I'm the editor of Biodiesel Magazine, and with me today is our Sales and Marketing Director, John Nelson. On our program, we intend to move quickly through our agenda this afternoon. In a few moments, John will run through Biodiesel Magazine's print circulation and audience, biodieselmagazine.com's website stats and demographics, our Biodiesel World News e-newsletter, and our 2017 Biodiesel Industry Directory. Afterwards, I'll provide some brief commentary on our mainstay editorial sections, and then we'll talk quickly about our two print editions in 2017, along with bonus distribution for both issues. Finally, at the end of our broadcast, we have an exclusive advertising discount for attendees of this webinar. But before I pass it over to John, I want to say a few words about our publication and the U.S. biodiesel market. Biodiesel Magazine is going into its 14th year of publication in 2017, and next year marks my 13th year with the magazine. Over the past decade and a half, we've seen this market go up, and we've seen this market come down. And while 2014 and 2015 were two very tough years in this industry, all I can say is, wow, what a difference a year makes. Late last year, the EPA released its biomass-based diesel final rule for 3 years in a row, this 2014 through 2017, in addition to the advanced biofuels final rule for 2014 to 2016, and with it a commitment from the agency to keep the RFS program on track and growing for biodiesel. Also late last year, the blender's tax credit was passed retroactively to the start of 2015 and through the end of this year. Together, these policies have ushered in what I would call a biodiesel renaissance of sorts, as numerous expansion and upgrade projects were either announced, completed, or both, and strategic investors acquired several distressed assets to build out their production base, the combination of which signals for a strong and sound future in this industry. Furthermore, the final RFS rule for 2018 biomass-based diesel and for 2017 advanced biofuels is expected out very soon. And while the proposal contained a modest growth path for biodiesel at 2.1 billion gallons, up 100 million gallons over 2017's volume requirements, industry advocates and the National Biodiesel Board have presented their case to the EPA that this could and should be boosted to 2.5 billion gallons. And for the 2017 advanced target, EPA has proposed 4 billion ethanol equivalent gallons, or about 2.67 billion biodiesel equivalent gallons. But industry advocates are urging an increase of this as well to 4.75 billion ethanol equivalent gallons, or about 3.17 billion biodiesel gallons. Very soon, we're going to know what EPA has decided. This year, the U.S. is expected to consume some 2.5 billion gallons of biodiesel and renewable diesel. But not all of that is domestically produced. In fact, imports are rising to new heights, and this is a big concern for domestic producers who still have idle production capacity, as our U.S. shores are inundated with what could surpass 800 million gallons of foreign product this year. This is why the National Biodiesel Board and many U.S. producers are urging Congress to reform the blender's tax credit to a domestic producer's credit. This movement gained quite a bit of steam last year, and while in the final tax extenders package that was signed into law, the credit still remained a blender's incentive. This year, the two bills have once again been introduced in the House and the Senate to reform the biodiesel incentive to a producer's credit while extending it through 2019. And it can't go without being said, this contentious presidential election has caused quite the national spectacle, the outcome of which may have a lasting effect on our industry. Once it's over, things will settle down, and we can hopefully get down to business doing what the biodiesel industry does best, and that's making a sustainable, renewable diesel fuel replacement that provides jobs, energy security, and a path toward independence while reducing greenhouse gas and tailpipe emissions for a greener, brighter tomorrow. I want to thank you for listening to my market update. Now I'm going to pass it on to John Nelson, who will go over some important specifics about our Biodiesel Magazine product line. John?
Perfect. Thank you, Ron. Again, I want to thank everyone for being on today's webinar. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. You know, I'm looking at this preview slide right here, and we've got, I just want to talk a little bit about the products that are showing on this slide. And we've got, obviously, Biodiesel Magazine, the print issue. We have our online stories. We also have our e-newsletter, which you can see kind of sitting there on the smartphone. We have our directory, Biodiesel Industry Directory, and our maps. So there are some ancillary products that we're not going to dive into fully during this webinar, but I definitely encourage you to contact us, contact your account manager, and learn more about those products. They're highly viewed by the industry and are extremely popular at the events that we go to. So with that, I'm gonna move on to the next slide here. And what we're going to be talking about here is really our print circulation. So with our print circulation, we've got, we send out 5,000 copies of Biodiesel Magazine to 41 countries, and we've got 2.6 readers per issue. Now you may be going, where are these readers per issue coming from? That's actually coming from some third-party market research that we've conducted over the past 2 years. And so we have a third party that will contact our readers and interview them and survey them, and we know that each issue that goes out is passed around and read 2.6 times. So our total audience breakdown is about 13,000. Another thing I want to highlight here is 860 of those are future or existing producers. And then we also, we mail to every attendee, or we put it in the hands of every attendee at the National Biodiesel Conference that's coming up here at the beginning of 2017. So another thing that we're going to talk about here is our bonus distribution. And because we feel positive about the market and we feel good about biodiesel in general, we have upped it from 1 issue. Last year we did 1 issue that was tied in with our industry directory. And we are now going to 2 issues this year. We're going to have we'll have a winter issue, which will go to the National Biodiesel Conference, and then a summer issue. And so Ron is going to talk about that coming up, so I don't want to steal his thunder too much. I know I did a little bit, but I'm going to let him kind of chat about that. But we will have 2 issues going out this year. And then I just wanted to chat a little bit about the subscribers. 22% of our subscribers are biofuels producers, and then followed by consultants and equipment services and so on. Now, 89% of our magazine subscribers, and again, this is our print. What we're talking about here is print, not online, which we'll show you in a second here how that is different. But when you're looking at our online or our printing magazine, majority of it, 89%, are inside the U.S. So again, something to think about when you're saying, well, should I use Biodiesel Magazine print as a way to target producers, the biodiesel industry, and that's, you know, inside the U.S., so that's something you want to be thinking about. The majority of our print magazine is inside the U.S., so again, if you're looking for that as an advertising option, it's a perfect fit for you. All right, moving on, we're going to take a look at biodieselmagazine.com. So the majority of our visitors per year and per month are from the United States. And the second, which you would think would be Canada, you know, I would assume it was Canada, but when we ran the numbers, India is actually our second highest country of who visits Biodiesel Magazine, then followed by Canada and the UK and so on, as you can see here. You know, a lot of people are, when they're looking at a way to kind of say, hey, I want to reach producers, I want to reach the industry outside the U.S., again, biodieselmagazine.com is a great solution. It's a great platform for you as an advertiser if you're looking to reach people outside the U.S. and inside the U.S. as well. We have 18,000 people who are subscribers on our Biodiesel e-newsletter. These are people that we've built up for 14 years, have said, hey, I want to get news and information on biodiesel. And we've got 18,000 people that read this e-newsletter that Ron puts out, and he builds original stories and puts them on there, both on the website and on the e-newsletter, and we've built that readership up. So again, there's two options here that we're really looking at. We're looking at biodieselmagazine.com is a good platform. We're also looking at 18,000 subscribers on Biodiesel World News e-newsletter. And then we also have some additional stats for online viewing in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, if you want additional information, please reach out to one of our account managers. They can dive into and give you even more detail on these numbers. And these are taken from Google Analytics. So again, going back to the e-newsletter, Biodiesel Magazine or Biodiesel World News e-newsletter, you can kind of get a feel for what it looks like. So this goes out every 2 weeks. Ron sends this out with the hottest stories that are in the industry at that time, and it goes out to 18,000 plus subscribers. Again, we've built that list over 14 years, and people are constantly subscribing. We see that's a fluid number, that 18,000. So it goes up and down, and we're always wanting to increase it, and it has grown over the years. So that's a great option. Again, if you're looking to get a hold of people who are maybe not just in the U.S. but are looking to reach internationally, but to really, if you're looking to get producers and you want to really say, hey, who clicked on my ad on the e-newsletter, this is a perfect option for you. So the biodiesel industry directory. Now this is coming up. We're talking about the 2017 biodiesel industry directory. And this directory is closing November 16th. Now, why is that important? Well, one, we hope you choose to advertise inside of it because the shelf life that it has is 12 months. If you're going to spend some advertising, this is the place to do it. And then what I really want to highlight here is that every company receives one free listing, and that free listing is on the print issue and on the online issue or online listing as well. And then every additional listing is $75, and if you want to add a logo, it's an additional $115 as well. So I urge you to definitely go to biodieselmagazine.com and get your free listing and take advantage of this. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Ron. Ron.
Hey, thanks, John. What we're looking at here on this slide is our contents page for our 2016 annual edition that we put out last year, and that was initially distributed at the National Biodiesel Conference. For our annual print edition, and of course, like John mentioned, we're actually doing 2 editions this year. We work very hard to bring information that's important to the industry. We go to great lengths to provide our readers accurate, timely, in-depth feature articles, and we're proud of our ability to secure feature-length contribution pieces and columns from prominent, knowledgeable, respected experts in the industry. Like I said, this is the contents page from the 2016 edition. Our feature articles for this issue focused largely on markets, given that 2014 and 2015 were 2 very tough years, like I mentioned. And we focused on the projected turnaround in the industry, which, as we predicted, thankfully happened. Also, it should be said that every issue we feature a 4-page section from the National Biodiesel Board. It should be said that we're proud of our relationship that we have with the National Biodiesel Board. It's ongoing. It's been going on for as many years as the magazine has been around, and it's a solid relationship, and the board does a lot of great work on behalf of our nation's producers, marketers, and distributors. So as readers have come to expect, we're going to, once again in 2017, continue to feature a 4-page section from this excellent organization. Next slide. I'm going to move quickly into our editorial coverage for 2017. Like John mentioned, I'm very happy to report that due to the impressive turnaround in the market, Biodiesel Magazine is planning 2 print editions this year. One, as John mentioned, we're calling Winter 2017, and that's being written and produced as we speak, and then a summer issue that we're going to be printing mid-year. Since the Winter 2017 edition is going to be attached to the Biodiesel Industry Directory, this particular issue is going to be distributed throughout the year, starting in the registration handbags at the National Biodiesel Conference and Expo in San Diego. And it's going to be destined for at least 9, maybe 10 additional bioenergy conferences throughout the year. We've got the articles and contributors locked down for this Winter 2017 issue, and I can tell you, in addition to the features I am writing on the markets, equipment, and technology, we've got some of the biggest names and companies in this industry contributing a wide variety of editorial content covering feedstock, technology, regulations, business transactions, and legal considerations. So you're not going to want to miss being a part of this. Let's go to the summer 2017 slide. The summer edition will provide a mid-year review and outlook. We're going to be covering any timely and relevant market and technology developments as the first half of the year progresses, and it will come fresh off the presses right in time for distribution at the International Fuel Ethanol Workshop and Expo and the co-located National Advanced Biofuels Conference and Expo, both of which are going to be in Minneapolis next June, along with many other conferences in the second half of the year, which you can see on your screen. So that is the high-level overview of our 2017 biodiesel market outlook and the opportunities we here at Biodiesel Magazine can provide to get your company's equipment, services, or other offerings to our highly targeted audience in this growing industry. I want to thank you for your attention, and now I'm going to turn it back over to John.
Perfect. Thank you, Ron. And we want to thank today's sponsor, the National Advanced Biofuels Conference and Expo. Again, that's co-located with the International Fuel Ethanol Workshop, and that's taking place June 19th through the 21st in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We hope you can join us there. And then we also have some upcoming events that you may be interested in. Part of our Biomass Magazine webinar series, we have Pellet Mill Magazine's 2017 Editorial Outlook, and that's taking place November 16th. And then we have part of Ethanol Producer Magazine's webinar series is Corn Kernel Fiber, Converting the Low-Hanging Fruit. And that's going to be taking place November 17th as well. Now, as promised, we did have a discount that we'll give you for attending this webinar. You can save 20% on a full-page print advertisement in Biodiesel Magazine. This offer expires January 1st, so I definitely urge you to take advantage of that offer. And again, thank you for taking the time to be on today's webinar. We hope you'll choose Biodiesel Magazine as an advertising platform to reach the biodiesel industry in 2017. Please contact us if you have any questions regarding the information you saw today. Have a wonderful day.